What's going on with my fellow folks? You already know this is a Beta Male Police, indeed, Mr. AKA Live Free. Now, I want to talk about how in today's society we have what's called a partnership. And like I tell men before, when you get into relationship, when you get into partnerships, marriages, cohabitation, you are helping out the enemy. You should always stay single, live free, and when you get into these partnerships, you no longer have any control. Basically, the woman can do anything that she wants. And the only reason why they are looking for partnerships is because they are looking for help. Now, I got a couple of videos here that I'm going to display and I will go ahead and explain. So, without further ado, let's get to this first clip here and I'm going to talk about it. Let's go.
We realized it's a partnership and that you lean onto each other and that she has the same, if not more, capabilities to take care of things as well. It's really being able to balance one another and just listen to one another and not go through this hierarchical kind of relationship where it's like, well, what I say and I pay the bills and who has the money, who takes care of this,
Right.
all that. We never had that. We had to throw that away because that doesn't exist in this marriage. And for us,
Yeah. Go ahead and strip away your manhood. Go ahead and strip away all of your power. Now, before I get to the next clip, I want to display something really quick. Look how the guy is leaning towards the woman and her shoulders. So we all know who wears the leather jacket in this relationship or partnership. When you get into these type of relationships, it strips away your testosterone. You cannot be a man. The woman have all of the power, and basically she rules the household. Right now, just look carefully because I'm really good at body language. You see how he's leaning in? That is a sign of femininity. You're very feminine, right? No masculinity, no masculine bone in your body. Just a Gumby, just letting a woman take over the entire partnership and the marriage, right? And there is no balance when it comes to man and woman. There's no balance. There should be no compromises. There should be any balances. We will never be equal. We have to deal with it because that is human nature. Now, let me get over to this one here. And this one says, there's a stitch. It says they don't want to be in partnership with you. Without further ado, let's go.
Don't want to be in partnership with you. They want to be a part of your life.
When you have some of these internet conversations, people are actually realizing that you're not really trying to work and grow with this person. You just want to live the life that this person has created for themselves. Now, some people have self-respect for themselves and they understand that, well, if my lifestyle goes away, you're most likely going to go away. So then you have to ask yourself, did they ever really like you, or did they just like what you provided for them? And I'll be honest, I know a lot of you like to downplay men and say men aren't men anymore, but a lot of you don't understand the image and the message that you're putting across sometimes. And this isn't to even get into the whole 50-50 conversation because we already know about that. But at the end of the day, some of you don't understand that you're coming off as a user. You're not coming off as a helper, an assistant, someone to grow with, whatever word you want to use. A lot of you are just coming off as I'm going to take from you, take from you, take from you, until I can move on to the next, instead of saying, hey, I'm here to support you and I want to grow and be great with you.
Absolutely facts. Shout out to that brother. Yes. And what I said before, females are only looking for help. They are only looking for resources. When you establish these relationships, anything ship sinks. That's why people say you are on the clock when you get into these relationships, partnerships, even marriage. They are ships. And like he said, all women are only looking for help. You bet off by yourself, helping yourself, and protecting your resources. Now, I'm going to say this. You can do whatever you want to. You can get into a partnership. You can split everything 50-50 or 100-0, what may have you. All she's going to do is take away your resources. There is a plethora of women that's in debt with student loans, with all types of school books and this credit card debt, and you want to establish a partnership or a marriage with somebody with that extreme of debt. And before I get to the next video, I'm going to say this. See, guys are so thirsty. They are so desperate to get into these relationships, but they forget to ask and vet the woman on how much debt do they have. Tell them to pull up a credit report. Tell them to pull up a background check. All men want is sex, and all women want is money. Let's continue further. All right. So let's go over to here. This video here, it says there is just say moving from companionship to partnership. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and we're gonna talk about it. There you go.
There's a massive difference between a companion and a partner. Let's just be honest. Can I help you save a lot of time, energy, and heartbreak? Anybody can go to the movies with you. Anybody can go on a cruise with you. Anybody can go to a restaurant with you. Companionship is easy. You can get a dog and you got companionship. I think all of us need to move from seeking companionship to seeking partnership. People say cheating is what kills every relationship. You know what I believe really kills a lot of relationships? A lack of vision for the relationship. A single person knows what they want. Another single person knows what they want. So these two single people both are going after what they want, but they didn't make the vision of what the relationship was going to be bigger than their own individual visions. So as they're in relationship, they're pursuing separate visions. That's division. So at the end of the day, every couple that I know that's killing it, kicking butt and taking names, and they're authentically happy, the vision that they have for their marriage is bigger than the individual vision of any individual person in the relationship.
It really doesn't matter how you twist words around. You can be a wordsmith. Everything is going to come down to resources. Everything is going to come down to lack of trust. Things going to come down to control. A lot of women say, well, you are controlling me. Even with a companionship. He's almost right, but you don't really need anything. You can just live a simple life. Why do we have to keep like switching and turning and Rubik's Cube words around just to live a simple life? And this is why I tell you, this is your choice. You make the decisions in your own life. You don't have to play with words as far as like a partnership and companionship and relationship. The only relationship that you need is with yourself. You take care of you out here. These females need help. They need your resources. They need what you've been building, what you've been creating, what you've been establishing for so long. And now you're going to gather and bring somebody in your world just to take away your resources. And this is a reason why that there's a lot of men that's crying online. Child support. She cheated. Alimony. I got to pay her. I lost half of my belongings. I lost half of my resources. It's your fault. We have to come to a conclusion that just have a simple life and stop twisting words around and stop trying to get into these relationships, companionships, partnerships. None of them work. None of it work. Everything is temporary. Marriages are temporary. Nothing works. It has to come to an end. And people say, well, there are some happy people. There are some happy marriages, Bay Male Police. That's not true.
Then shut the fuck up in 2020.
There's people that are in these relationships, in marriages. They cannot really express how they feel because if they do, they're going to lose their shit. They're going to lose custody of their kids. They have to deal with the cheating. They have to deal with manipulation. They have to deal with all types of gaslighting and narcissists and red flags and what may have you. Men are not happy in these marriages, and it shows online on a daily basis. These guys, majority of these guys go on 2 or 3 or 4 hours live streams on YouTube just to get away from their wife, just to get away from their family. They go to work taking 2 or 3 jobs just to get away from their wife. That is not happiness. You are avoiding. That is avoidance. Over here, we only deal with men that want to be free. We don't have to avoid our wives. We don't have to avoid our companionships or our partnerships or our relationships or our women, our queens, quote. It's not about avoiding because that's more stress and more stress. You have to face the music at one point, right? So I just want to go ahead and explain that. And people keep twisting these words around. I know people are so good at these terminologies. They are wordsmith, but at the end of the day, they mean nothing. All right. So let's move over to this video here. Let's see what this brother got to say. I'm gonna talk about it. Without further ado, let's go.
First thing a man don't want is he doesn't want a woman who communicates aggressively. Okay, and so a woman might be like, "Well, I just say what's on my mind." I ain't gonna. Well, the man views that as aggressive, combative. That's the first thing. A good man does not want a woman who communicates that way. That's the first thing. The second thing is a good man wants a woman who is about partnership. And let me explain. If I take you out, if you want to go out, it's some women out there, you know it. Women out there, well, shoot, I'm gonna give me a free meal, and then you just got to take me out every time. Now, the one thing I admit about you, well, our situation was a little different because when I took you out, you lost the bet and you had to pay the first time.
Right.
But then I paid after that.
Right.
But I will say this: if me and you go out and you don't offer to pay after the second or third time, I always say 2 times, the woman should offer on the third time. Even if the man says, no, I got this. Because what happens is it's no longer partnership.
And like I said before, when he was mentioning that his woman that's in his household is going to be combative, it's going to be aggressive. That woman, it only takes a day, right? The man can say, hey, calm down. You was a little bit combative. You was aggressive. You was very dismissive. How long do you think that behavior is still going to come up again, right? It takes one day. It takes weeks. After 5 years of your life, 10 years with this person, 20 years, Judge Mathis, 40 years. It takes a day. All of this anger and all of this miscommunication is bottled up. And this what leads to females seeking other men because it's not human nature. It's inhumane to be with one person for the rest of your life. That is not how life should work. It shouldn't. Now, for this partnership, how about just take yourself out on a date? How about just treat yourself? See, people want to get into relationships and they are clocking in on when their woman is going to start to offer to pay for the dinner, start to offer when they pay for the lunch. How about just stay single and you can go out yourself and the bill will be cheaper? Why do you have to bank on your partner or your wife or your husband to pay anything? Some days it's the littlest thing that is going to cause a whole wreck. It's going to cause a whole miscommunication. It's going to be like that relationship is going to be very argumentative over little things. It takes one day. It's like a ticking time bomb. Now all of a sudden we got all these partnerships and ship this and ship that, ship here, ship there, ship everywhere. Just stay single, live free, and just keep your life simple. Because people will come in your life just to confuse you. Just to confuse you. So how about just live a simple life? I know brothers are in monk mode, MGTOW, brothers like myself been through it, and all I'm doing is fixing binds out here. And it's been amazing. All right, so last but not least, I want to talk about this one right here. It says, this part of my marriage is called thank you. So this is a long video, but I will just break down half of it, and then we're going to talk about it. So without further ado, let go.
This part of my marriage is called thank you. This is a huge vulnerability post. Okay? I thank my husband more than I have ever done before because my place of isolation, my need to run, to escape what life was dealing me was hard. And I can only imagine as a husband seeing your wife going through something, not being able to be in her head, trying. And I mean, my husband tried. He did everything. And I'm so grateful for him because I ran. And it wasn't anything that he did. It wasn't anything of his fault. Baby would see me run. He would see me just try to dive into work. And let me tell you,
And I remember breaking this down. If anybody new to my channel, and by the way, salute to everybody that's still down here. The like button, subscribe if you're new. I already broke down that when you get into these relationships or marriage or companionship or partnership, it's never the man's fault. You never did anything wrong. That's why you get men that still baffled, still confused, trying to figure out what they did wrong in these committed relationships. In actuality, it was the woman. Now, the woman will punish you for something internally or traumatic in her life. And you try to fix it. You try to fix it. She's very, she give you like the silent treatment. You try to fix it. You try to fix it. And she's separating further and further away from you because there's nothing you did. It's just that females are not really committed to have one person for the rest of their lives. And they still are dealing with traumatic things that they haven't been treated for. They haven't went to therapy for. And also, when a woman start at an early age, there is a lot of things going on mentally. It's not just their body's been damaged, but it's mentally. They already been wired to leave you within 6 months. And what do the man do? He goes out there and save her. And just like Project Pat said, do not save her. They don't want to be saved.
Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved.
Let them go. And if that man would have been in more peace, if he would just let her go her own way, you should never want to chase any woman in your entire life. All right, let's continue further. Let's go.
I haven't been in that place of isolation in a very long time, but it was so intense. That level of hurt, that level of anger, that level of betrayal, that level of disloyalty was so painful to me that I literally was like, you know what, Lord, I'm just going to fall into my purpose. You have people assigned to me, and I just dug into my craft. I was running classes. I was diving into group. I was just talking to my clients to escape what reality was dealing me. And it strained my marriage. Not to the point to talking divorce and none of that, because we ain't never divorcing. We forever. Okay, we partners.
You see, there you go again. Females cannot deal with reality. They always have issues with dealing with actual reality. And also, this is why they take a lot of medication, a lot of pills. They always depressed. They always bipolar, ADHD. Something is wrong. A lot of medications they take. They can't deal with actual life. And you bringing this person over to your life, now not only you got to keep fixing your life, you got to fix hers too. This is what women want you to do, is to be fixed. That is a partnership. That is a relationship. That is a marriage. You fix something that you had nothing to do with while you chasing this woman down and you figuring out what you did wrong. And you did nothing. It was never your fault. Right? So she said she had issues with dealing with actual life. Let's hear more. Let's go.
I was just in such a dark space, and I can only imagine seeing your wife, and my husband was doing everything, buying me flowers, buying me gifts, going hard with the kids, doing homework here. And I mean, my husband was doing everything. He was taking the things that I would typically do off of my plate. But I let him know I was angry. He saw it. My husband, I didn't even have to say it. He read the room. My husband was reading. He's like, no, I know my wife. This is not like her. And just to know that you have a life.
Hey, that's another point that she said. When she stated that she stopped doing the things that she promised you to do. When you get married to somebody, guys think that it's going to be sex forever. Guys think that she's going to cook and clean forever. Guys think that she's going to carry the chores and be a wife forever. That is not the case. She can stop that with a blink of an eye once she get that return in investment. Once the woman get the investment, it is over with. Now she can do her own thing. Now you have to pick up all of those chores that she was doing. And how tiring is that when you could have stayed single. You could have did everything yourself. So now the thing that she used to do, you're doing it and you're chasing her. You're spending more money. You're spending more time. You're spending more energy. You're spending more resources with one person. Let's continue.
Just to know that you have a life partner that's beside you, that understands you and sees you and respects you as your own person. Because let me tell you, I was running, baby. I was working out like 2 times a day in the gym, angry. I just wanted the music in my ears on loud. Oh, it was so much. And this is marriage. Hold on. Oh, Jesus.
Here go the fake tears, and here come God or the Lord. Let's go.
This is a balanced marriage. This is a God ordained, God given, God honored marriage.
I told you. That's all I wanted to display there. And like I said before, always stay single. Always live free. Keep your freedom. Feminism freed you. Act like it. You don't have to get into these marriages, these partnerships, these companionships. You take care of yourself because women just want help. With that being said, this is the Betty Mo Police. I appreciate y'all for reaching out, but it ain't shit else we gotta speak about. I'll see y'all later on, man.